Hey, welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. Check out what we got here this morning. Yep, we got a little rain. There was some wind damage, not really that bad. I know there's some power lines west of here, probably 15 mile, that had some damage to it, but nothing really around here. So got about 6 tenths here this morning, and it's cool out right now. Still a little overcast. Sure wouldn't hurt to get some more rain, but I'm telling you what, we'll take what we get. So I got some oil buckets and I'm gonna start servicing up the 470. I was gonna do some mowing. Today's August 1st, so we can start mowing our CRP acres, and after we got a rain, I'm not gonna mow it. So if the sun comes out and dries it all off, maybe later after I get this done, I'm gonna start doing that. But I guess we'll get this tractor all serviced up and go from there. I'm gonna change the oil filters. I'm gonna change the fuel filters, blow out the air filter, and grease it. Probably wash it off, detail the cab. We're gonna get a full service in here today. Looks like Grandpa's off to find a way to get that water away. The reason that water's there is because when we added that rock to the north side of the driveway there, we got a low spot and now it's puddled up. So I'm letting that thing idle, warm up the oil so that when I roll it in here, I can drop it, and you want to do that when the oil's warm. So well, let's see if I can do this without getting oil all over the place. Yep. Made a mess. All right, so the oil's draining and made a mess. Good thing I wore crappy jeans. Every time I change oil, I've got oil all over myself. And yep, so I've got to take this side shield off, actually on both sides, because on the other side you got to do it for the fuel filters, and the oil filter's right here. So it's really nice that they put it in a convenient spot. So you got to take this whole shield off, and then there's a drain plug on the bottom of it. So I'll loosen that up, drain all the oil out of the filter, and just so it makes less of a mess whenever I'm taking it off. But so on the bottom of this filter, if I wouldn't have loosened up that little nut there, when I would take the filter off, all the oil would have just poured right down the canister and it would have been a mess. A little bit did come out of the sides, but this whole canister here was empty when I took it off, so it makes it a lot nicer, less messy. So got the new filter here. Comes with a new O-ring and everything. Just got to set this in the canister and put it back on the tractor. All right, the oil filter's on, tight. That little plug on the bottom's tight. So now I'm gonna put the drain plug in and start adding oil to this thing. So I put 8 gallons of oil in there, and it was just a little bit past the fill line. So I'm gonna fire this thing up. Normally when you fire it up, it's gonna take a little bit of oil to go through the filter and everything. So we'll fire it up, check it after, and if we gotta add some oil, we'll do that. And if not, she'll be good. So before I started it, the oil was about here. And after running it, it went from here down to here. So looks like I gotta add some more oil to it. And then it'll be good. All right, so I'm gonna throw this side shield back on, and I'm gonna change off the hydraulic filter that's in the back of this thing. In the springtime, right when we were finishing up, the transmission was kind of overheating in road gear going down the road once in a while. So they recommended replacing the hydraulic filter. So I've got one, and after I put the shield on, go ahead and get that taken care of, and I guess we'll find out if that solved the problem or not. So the hydraulic filter is right in here. Looks like a nice place to make a mess on the tractor with oil, but I guess I'm gonna do the best I can, try to weasel my bucket in there, try to do something. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and swap that out, and then next step will be the fuel filters. So I got my hydraulic filter changed. This is the hydraulic filter on the transmission side, so that's done. And now we got to change the fuel filters. So this is the fuel filter in the back, and there's a smaller one right there on the front. So I think I can get to that without having to take this side shield off. So that'd be nice. So this goes on the bottom of this fuel filter. It's got an O-ring. Take this apart here. There's the O-rings. So there'll be an O-ring that goes in here and one that goes under here or on the top of the threads here. So take the O-ring here. This one goes on top. And then this one goes on this plastic canister. And I need to get some grease. I'm gonna put some grease around this O-ring, put some grease around here. This will screw on the bottom, and then the filter will go back on the tractor. And then I'll use that fuel valve on the bottom. I'll crack that to fill this up with fuel and tighten it all up. So I got this fuel filter off up here, and along with a bunch of diesel fuel on the floor. It's off, and I don't know what was so difficult about making things convenient on these tractors. I got the fuel filter off, and it was fine. Didn't have much of a mess, but in order for me to get it out of where it was located, you had to tilt it. So then the fuel's pouring out of the canister, and well, Dad, I'll clean this all up, so it's gonna be okay. So they all kind of go the same. Comes with an O-ring. So I'll pop the O-ring off of this canister I put in this box so I don't make a mess, but pop that O-ring off and put this new fuel filter in. I'll take this tube of grease up the O-ring, put it back on, and then I gotta prime it so the tractor can start. So I got this all tight, and now to prime this little bleeder right here, open that up so it's loose. And now I'll go in the cab and I'll turn the key on so the fuel pump will run. And whenever fuel starts coming out of that little bleeder, you shut that and it should be primed. All right, you can hear the fuel pump running now. Oh. There's a constant stream coming out. Get this thing shut. All right. So now it should be primed. Let's fire it up. There she goes. Took a little bit, but it always does that after you change your fuel filters. Let's check for any leaks. Oil filter's good. Fuel filter number 1's good. And this filter back here is good. Oh, and I better check the hydraulic. Yep. Okay. Well, this thing is fully serviced. Not quite, actually. I gotta blow out the air filters. Cab filter and the engine air filter. So I got both the air filters out of the tractor, and I'm gonna take them outside. Take this little radiator wand and blow these filters out. I'll put them back in and probably get this thing out of here, blow out the radiator, and this thing will be ready to go. I do want to wash it at some point, but I need to blow it off first. There's still a bunch of crap on it from spring. There's some stock built up on the back here. So it needs blown off and then it can be washed. And I did forget to mention too, before it goes out of the shop, I will detail out the cab. Gotta have a nice clean cab going into the fall time. Now look at that showroom quality. This cab looks like it should be at the Farm Progress show. I don't even want to get in here to back this thing out. So cab's cleaned out. This thing is completely serviced. I need to blow out the radiator and I need to blow it off and wash the outside, but I'm probably not going to get that done today. So let's get this thing backed out of here. Oh, I also do have to clean the floor too. Made a little bit of a mess, but that ain't too bad. I wanted to use the floor scrubber we got, but I went to turn it on and it was dead. It hadn't been charging for a long time, so just used the pressure washer. Cleaned up my mess here. And I did forget about one thing I thought about when I was washing the floor, and that's grease the tractor. There isn't that many grease points to hit, but it won't take long at all and needs to be done, so I'll head out there and grease it up. So there's a handful of grease zerks here. There's a couple there on the plate, a couple up in here, down here on each side, and then on the other side. So there's pretty much all there is in the middle, and there's a grease zerk back here. So it won't take too long. Let's get this thing done here, and good thing I remembered a little last minute, but we got it. Well guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Like I said earlier, we're gonna run the 470 through this wash bay, which is right here in the middle of the shop. This is our wash bay. So we'll do that before we go to the field. We like to have clean equipment when we're going to the field, even though on the first day of harvest, within 5 minutes, it'll be filthy. But, oh well, it is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.